It's Trojans Live on your home for Trojans football. AM 790 KABC.
Yeah, real quick.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Max Brown, and Dennis Simmons joins us now. USC receivers coach, assistant head coach, passing game coordinator, man with a lot of titles.
Does it all.
You got a lot of receivers too. You got a lot of guys to go through this year. They all seem super talented. What's it like trying to figure out a rotation, keep everyone happy, get touches, keep everyone in a rhythm? What's that been like so far?
The rotation, they pretty much handle that. That's based off of your actions and your effort in practice. So that's basically how we handle the rotation in the starting lineup as far as that goes. And then it's been exciting to see all of those guys have an opportunity to make plays. Caleb kind of controls where the ball goes, and we just be on the receiving end and do what we do once we get it.
Coach, from a defensive lineman eyes, it's the wide receivers have played excellent. What have you seen from your guys in the first 3 weeks here?
I think, there's a lot of room for improvement. I like to see us be more physically imposing on the perimeter, on some of those perimeter blocks, better hand placement. We got an unfortunate holding call this past game that kind of took a score off the board, so we got to clean that up. Yep. And then just all around second effort. We got some explosive backs that could do some things in the open field, and 9 times out of 10, those 15 yards could really turn to 30, 40-yard touchdowns if we're finishing our work on.
So the blocking, you're talking about the blocking for the wide receivers.
Yes.
Okay.
We had a couple of competitive balls that we let get on.
All right. Yeah, because the receiving's been all right.
We had, thinking back to the second game, there was one unfortunate drop. I'm glad we had a helmet on, or we probably would have needed a nose job there.
There you go.
There you go. I want to ask you about Kyron Hudson. Coming out of camp, felt like he was the guy getting a bunch of headlines, and we've seen Taj Washington pop. We've seen Zechariah Branch pop, and you can tell it's only a matter of time before 10 has his moment. But what did he do during the offseason and fall camp that really cemented him as that starting receiver on the outside?
Kyron had a great offseason as far as, his diet, his nutrition, and then devoting himself to working on the little small details in this game. He's one of those guys where his catch radius is off the chart. Whether he's covered or not, you put the ball in his vicinity. I mean, he has great body control and great hands. So that was something that, adding that other stuff just kind of added an extra element to his game.
You're listening to Coach Dennis Simmons on Trojans Live. Coach, we were talking to Coach Riley last week about how Scramble drill has changed. When you have a guy like Caleb, it's just a little different than it used to be. And, he gets in that mode, and you can almost feel like the Coliseum responds to it now. We saw one the previous week, and then Dorian got one this week. How have you sort of coached your guys up to play along with Caleb when he is in that improvisational mode?
Well, that, even in our screen game, that those plays are not going to die. So we have to stay active, and then in every play, there's designated areas that you go to, and guys have been doing a good job of being disciplined, working and getting to those areas. And, of course, when he's moving around, they all understand that he's moving around to look to find them, and most of the time he does.
Coach, young man Zechariah Branch has been special in special teams. He's made some plays on offense. Sometimes young players can come in. It's hard to trust them, I imagine. But this guy's come in and he's earned your trust right away. What makes him, in your mind, such a special player that you can trust him early on to be out there running the right offense plays?
Well, I mean, his approach to the game is, light years ahead of what his age is.
Mm-hmm.
And even prior to getting here, he was one of those young men. I can remember the day after he signed, he sent me this long text saying this is what I'm working on. This is what I plan to accomplish, throughout my freshman year. And, I mean, it was impressive to see the text, but it's even more impressive to see his work ethic and see how he approaches the game and how he prepares to make sure that he does put himself in line to accomplish those goals.
I was on the sideline with I'll call a very casual football fan. He was not aware of who Zechariah Branch was, but I remember I was sitting on the sideline. I was like, "Yeah, that kid right there was the number one receiver in the country last year." And he said, "Number one right there, the small little guy." And it got me thinking though. Like in the early 2000s, you had a Mike Williams coming out from Tampa, big 6'5", Dwayne Jarrett, big 6'5". When I was here, you had Juju, who walking off the bus, you're like that dude looks like an elite guy. From your perspective, how unique is it to have a guy of that size be such an elite recruit like that? And has the way the game been shifting over the past 5-7 years, where it's much more wide open, much more RPOs? Does it lend its hand to more of those Tyreek Hill type of receivers being recruited and sought after at a higher level?
No, I'm just thinking Zach's situation. He's different. He's not your 6'2", 6 anything as far as height wise, but he's strong as an ox. He plays strong, and he's fast as lightning. So, when you start adding those elements of, okay, this is his deficiencies and this is what he don't have, and you put the things that he do have, you kind of forget about how tall he is, and, you kind of, all right, well, that was God's doing right there, but God really gave us some extra doing over here, and, he makes it work for him.
On the complete opposite end of the spectrum is Deuce Robinson. You also brought in, maybe the tallest receiver in the country. And it's been fun. Some of these games have gotten a little bit out of hand, but Deuce has kind of made the fourth quarters fun. He's made plays late in all of these games. He seems to be very excited to seize his opportunities. What have you seen from him, and where does he need to grow to keep cracking into the earlier game reps?
Once again, we talked about, being more physical on the perimeter, and a guy with his size and his length. I think he continue to work to play as strong as he is, because if you go in the weight room and you watch him work out there, he's a very strong kid for his his size and his age. And I am proud of both him, Jacoby, and Mekhi. They're not looking at the scoreboard as far as the time when they get in the game. They're looking at it, okay, here's my opportunity to maximize and showcase my talent, and they're taking advantage of that. And that's one of the things that we talk about, day to day throughout practice. Is like, hey, you get your opportunity to get in the game, and you get your opportunity to play, maximize it. I can't tell you if you're going to get 5 reps. I can't tell you if you're going to get 25 reps, but whatever that one that you get, you better maximize. And I think all 3 of those guys have done an amazing job in doing that so far.
Well, you played 3 games, and in all 3 games, you've had 12 or more pass catchers. So that's got to be a dream for the room. Everyone is involved. Everyone seems happy. Everyone finding their way in the end zone, doing a heck of a job so far. 3-0 start for Dennis Simmons and this USC football team. Enjoy your bye week, Coach. When we come back, we're going to talk about a guy who's also making some plays as a receiver coming out of the backfield. Marshawn Lloyd has been electric. He's next on Trojans Live.